I don't have a sign that says live. There you go. That'll tell you. Go to it. Got it.
You come down here to bother me right when the show starts. Sure.
Now it's bottoms up. Bottoms up. Bottoms up.
Come down here.
All right. We got one so far. We're making headway tonight. One guest. Oh no, one watcher. We don't have any guests.
No.
Yeah, now you're looking at the live Scramble Campbell painting he did of our 100th show. When we were at Phil's house one time doing a show. Our 100th show, 58 shows ago, 48 shows ago. Wait, I can't do the math. I think I'm going to share it out a couple times. It's California time tonight, folks. California time, it's 4 o'clock there, so 4 o'clock in California, 6 o'clock here. We're doing a little compromise with Jeffrey Blackman if he gets a chance to be part of our show tonight, or at least watch it. Questions, comments, please put them in the comment section. Please be polite about it, I suppose, but do what you got to do.
I feel pretty privileged to did a painting of us.
I'm at the wrong page. I'm trying to share it and it's not even at the right page. Okay, we got to get the theme song going here. Oh, you don't want to give us a theme song. Here, hold on, try this way.
I'm in the John, the Phil N Jon Zone.
We had 7 viewers, now we're down to 4. I don't want to see that number. I'm blocked. I'm covering it up. I don't want to see that number.
Oh, you can't do that. That's why I wouldn't like that. Oh, it's 7 to 4. It's 7 to 9.
All right, let's put some things out there in the world of what's going on in the world. I'm going to share it in a couple random places tonight to see what ends up happening. Folks, thanks for tuning in. It's Friday night, man, March 24th in America. And we are...
we're down to 4, but there was
broadcasting live from our cribs. And hey everybody, what's going on? Hey Grant, hey Teresa, hey Kristen, what's going on everyone? Share it out there if you care, and we'll get this show going on the road. We'll get some comments going in the comment section. Ask us questions, tell us a joke. Hold on a second, hold on. Where are we? Here we are. There we go. There we go. Okay, we're back. So if you got any questions or comments or commentary or suggestions or omissions or submissions or commissions or whatever, just let us know. We'll try to field them as they come in. No guarantee what's going to happen on the show tonight because we don't know. It's Friday. We made it this far in the week. I'm cracking a beer. Really been meaning to go back and do some digging through my these old videos and pull up some of the musical guests that we've had. We've had some seriously wacky good musical guests, but I didn't do it. I can't tell you why I did or didn't do it. Slacker probably mostly, you know. But well, it's not what's important. We don't want to think about the past. We're thinking about the show tonight. That's all we got. That's all we got, folks. You ain't got nothing. You don't look back. Don't even look in the rearview mirror. Just drive with reckless abandon as you're driving down the highway. Just get into the lane whenever you feel it. And if you're using the force, you'll be all right. If you're not, maybe not so much.
Forward.
Please don't drive while watching the show. That just seems dangerous, you know. You can listen to it, put it on the radio like a radio show. But so thanks for tuning in, Phil. How are you doing, buddy? What's going on? How's your Friday so far?
Fantastic. How are you, John?
I'm all right.
Happy Friday. Good to see you, my friend.
I'm stretching out my arms and legs.
Happy
ready for a better
show.
day. It was a great day today. It wasn't horrible here. It rained. It was the air was just wet. You know, it was cold. But you know what? I'm okay. I made it through. I survived. And I've something real funny. Like all the stuff that I thought would happen, none of it happened. And that's kind of like life in general. So don't think too much on what you think is going to happen. Just expect it. Just experience it as it happens. That's my only advice for the day. And other than that, some other advice might come up during the show that's all subliminal or subjective or a counterpoint, whatever. No promises. I don't promise to get any value from our show other than just the fact that you are friends with us. And actually, Phil said it best when he said, if you're around us, you're going to feel better when you're done being around us. Is that what you said? Something along those lines? You're going to make their life better for it, for being in your presence. And I agree. That's always been the way I feel about you, Phil. So we got people checking in from all over the place. Got people checking in from Brown County. Jules Dunlop out there. Hey, Jules. Hey, Scott Jarhead. Kristen Glenn McGlasson. Grant Schumacher. Good to see you guys checking on the show tonight. Tell your friends, tell Grandma, wheel her in, get her in the room, let her check out the Phil N Jon Zone. She's been waiting all week to see it. Hell, I don't even know if we did one last week. We didn't do one last week because I
No,
wasn't
we did not do
go.
one. You were busy and I was busy, and yeah, we kind of skipped. We were like a week and a half off. That's the biggest space we had. Great photos, Jules.
Yeah, Jules, great photos coming through the.
Great photos from
that's
Hartford
incredible. Some of the
and
stuff we're seeing.
beyond.
That little
Thank
baby
you.
picture of Billy Strings was so cute.
Mhm.
And there's been some really great photos that went through there. My picture of Amy's one of my favorites that you got her looking all orange and happy in the sun. Hey, Netta, what's going on? Brian Flick, thanks for checking in, you guys.
Hey, Netta.
No, the big deal, Jules. Big
Netta.
deal for those photos. That's really good to see that stuff. We're all enjoying it immensely. Great memories down the line. I'm jealous of all the places you've been and stuff I didn't get to do, and you were there. It's great. You know?
What are these people watching us for? It makes me smile when you say these people's names. It's a beautiful thing.
I think they get something out of it. I think that they get. I don't know. People have told me they get something out of it, even if it's just killing time while they're eating dinner.
Well, it is. It's great to see here. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. We all miss it, Jules. That's hard. This time of year is a hard time we got to get back to going out and seeing some live music. And you should get out and see some live music with us. Take some pictures, Jules. We'd love to have you out there and everything we do. And we're all going to miss a couple major ones this year, but there's some new ones coming up. Man, there was one out on the East Coast that looks so good. And I looked it up because I was like, you know what? We could do that. We could drive to the East Coast, go to this festival. I mean, it was everybody that we wanted to see from me and Amy's relationship, all of our favorite bands.
John Cougar's song.
And it was going to be $300 a ticket to go in, but they were all sold out. So I checked one-day tickets; they were all sold out. So I checked the general admission VIP; they were all sold out. So I checked the extreme tickets. Okay, you can buy a ticket to a festival for $3,000 plus fees. So probably $3,500 by the time you pay for all of it. And they put you up. You got a concierge, you got a place to sleep, you got VIP food and drink access, but $3,000. So I clicked on it just to see for shits and giggles, and they were all sold out of $3,000 fucking tickets. They were sold out, dude. You imagine paying $3,000 to go see a festival just for one person, just one person.
Well,
I mean, someday, maybe, who knows, baby. There's a chance.
You know somebody and people that have money that's dropping the bucket.
I suppose so. And there are always people that can afford to pay that kind of money for things that are they're that expensive. You know what? We have a special guest watching the show right now. Somebody just logged in. Laura Louise Cothard is my aunt, my grandma's sister, and she's 99 freaking years old this year. So we probably should watch our language a little bit. There's gonna be some questionable material, Laura, but I'm glad you're checking in. That's really cool. 99-year-old, maybe the oldest person to ever watch our show. What a crazy experience her life has had to have been. To have experienced 100 years of living. That's awesome. I love her to the end of the world. She's my grandma's big sister, and always been real special to me. So, Aunt Laura, good to see you out there. And again, I apologize for any future language or drug content or anything that happens from here on out in the show. It's part of the show sometimes Anyway. I'm on the fence tonight. I'm on the wire. I've got good energy. It feels good to be here, and we're gonna get back into the swing of things here in a minute, and we'll get the show on the road eventually. The best part of our show is it doesn't have a road. There's no road. There's no
road. Yeah.
We're in Pueblo, Colorado. Send all your tips to Pueblo, Colorado. Do you remember those commercials about Pueblo, Colorado when you were younger? It's like send for the information guide to Pueblo, Colorado. Like probably 808 something drive, Pueblo, Colorado. I used to know the address too, I'm sure. But we are not in Pueblo, Colorado. We're in a dumpy old trailer in the middle of the woods.
No,
broadcasting from rural Tennessee.
The desert, the West Coast.
Hey, Nancy. How you doing out there, Nancy? Fine. Good to see you out there, too. Great to see everybody checking in tonight and chiming in on the show and see what we do. We hope you entertain a little bit.
Hey, Nancy.
Hello. Yep, there's Miss Nancy. She's checking in. We're always good to see Nancy checking in. We love our Nancy. Can't wait to spend more time with those guys. But otherwise, I mean, last weekend went to Chicago Farmer.
Happy Friday, Miss Nancy Fun.
So last weekend we went to see Chicago Farmer and the Horseshoes and Hand Grenades at the Castle Theater.
How was that, John?
Great show. He packed the place, and Horseshoes went on first, and they just loved the crowd. And they did the Rattling Bog, and so I got a Rattling Bog in my head forever now again. I love it. Jules Dunlap said she'd like to be on the show someday. I think, Jules, you've been on the show once before. You and Tracy came on one night.
No, I do not believe she has.
No, there was a night many moons ago during COVID.
Jules,
Tracy and Jules came on the show. We'll get you to be part of the show one day when we just say, hey, Carson, what's going on? Hey, man, everybody's just saying hi, Phil. You're missing out on on the comments tonight. The best one just came through. Jules Dunlop said, "Yup." That was back in 2020. That was when we were first doing the show. And we were pretty green to it, and man, it feels like it's been a long time since that. Shit
It
went down.
has. It has.
If you watch our first few shows,
what?
if you watch our first few shows, we're kind of freaked out. We're kind of on the edge about what was going on in the world, and like we're talking to people, and we're all talking about. It was a little bit. It's weird to go back and watch those early shows because we were really all secluded and isolated. You know.
Well, like if you watched the show before, I probably watched. Was there a 47 show
Oh, there's a 47 show.
plus 100? I probably watched less than 2 hours of our
I think
total.
those thumbs up were from Jeffrey Blackman. Hey, Jeffrey Blackman, I saw your
Hey, Jeff.
thing come up. We're doing California time tonight, Jeff. 4 o'clock your time instead of 4 o'clock our time. It's a random.
Hello,
experience.
California kid.
He says, "Hey, fellas." So yeah, really good to see you on there, Jeff. So you know, it's got me perplexed. Is that painting is really good of me and you that Scramble did. It's ridiculous, and it makes me weep just a tiny bit that it doesn't exist, or if it exists, somebody's got it and they don't even know what they got. And if you have this painting out there now, and it came to your house by accident because it said it got delivered somewhere in my town. You don't need it. You don't need this painting. You don't want this painting. It's not worth anything to you. So give us our painting back if you find it. Now, maybe the mailman kept it. Maybe it got smashed under a tire of a mail jeep. Maybe a lion ate it from Africa. Maybe, who knows what could have happened. But we would love to see that painting
from Africa. That's a good one, John. That's a good one.
A lion in Africa. That's a Monty Python cut there. Hey, Eric Carpenter, what's up there, buddy? And Meg McGinn, good. Thanks everybody for checking in. Tell your friends, share it. Boom, 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 boom. We're here doing our show. That's what we do. I'm trying to milk it because we got no guests tonight. And I put that out there at the beginning.
We have to have some kind of constructive.
Now, Blackman's been doing a bunch of stuff from the shed. He's been sharing a lot of music. He's been writing new music and playing songs and stuff. So we may have to draw him in later. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how the show goes.
He has his own show in his own head because he basically is a director, a promoter, and art director of our show in a roundabout way.
Yeah, a bounty hunter would be a good idea for the painting, to find the painting, hire a bounty hunter. I went to the post office and I asked the lady who's a friend of mine at the post office, and I said, what about a painting that's been lost for like 7 months? Which now it's been a year. What about a painting that's been lost for 50 weeks? And then she said, maybe, maybe not. Bring me the number. And guess what? I never took her the number. So I haven't really tried super hard to find it, but I know it's out there somewhere. I'm hoping it just arrives back at Scramble's house.
John, I was thinking you should talk to Todd Schneider. You get a lot and you do artwork for him, but you should come up with a song, 7th a Month Lost Pain.
The Ballad of the Lost Scramble Campbell.
It would be great. 7th Month Lost Painting. Yeah, it would. It just fits it. It's like a Gordon Lightfoot song. It's just.
I wonder if he's ever had paintings get lost before. I'm curious how many paintings that's happened to him during his career of shipping paintings to people. It would be really sad. Some people pay a lot of money for his paintings, so it would be sad that not one get there. But he just gave us ours. He was like, "Here, you need a painting?" And he gave it to us. Jeffrey Blackman says, "Make flyers and post them around town like a lost dog, and put little phone numbers you tear off. You've seen this painting? Tear off, bring it back."
Hey, Jeffrey, what do you think we are, beatniks or what?
We are beatniks, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
We are beatniks. If anybody's a beatnik, we're working on it. It's Friday night, folks. March 24th, 6:12 p.m.
It's Friday.
I have
the only time when people go like it's so certain time and minutes and stuff like that, I just watch the original Planet of the Apes. When using the ship, it's this time and this time and this time.
What time is it? It's time for 5 records. Extra special 5 records tonight, folks. Not really. My first record, I'll start off tonight because I know you got some clever ones, I'm sure.
You got it all set up. I'm mine and okay, go ahead.
Did you pick out records yet?
Yeah, I did.
I went with a theme tonight. I don't go with themes very often. Go to the local news. I like that, Jeffrey Blackman. I like that. You never know. That's a good idea.
What?
So this was an album that we shared the first night, but I was intrigued tonight with the artwork on albums. So I say we shared it the first night because this is the first time we ever did albums. The first time we ever did it, we both shared this album, which is just an amazing piece of art all the way from side to side, beginning to end. All the Wilson clan are there, and it really fantastic. Fantastic. Strong man or strong woman? You tell me. Anyway, where is it? There it is. All right, we're gonna go strong man, no top. But anyway, Beach Boys, Endless Summer. Recently, a real quick synopsis on Beach Boys, because I have this feeling inside my bones that I'm supposed to be a surfer. When I go places where there's ocean, I jump right in the water. But I live in the Midwest. There's no waves here. Not even in Chicago. No worthy waves. And I have this feeling in my bones that I want to be a surfer. And I was tracing it back in my brain, like, why do I want to be a surfer? Because when I was a kid, I was fed the Beach Boys and the fantasy of the California lifestyle of surfing all day long and surfing USA and tell the teacher we're surfing and surfing safari and get around all the stuff that they did. And I think that probably made me think I belonged like on a beach in San Diego or something, or in Bahamas where you could surf all day. But I still feel it though. I still feel like a real strong draw towards the ocean, and it's because of the Beach Boys, man. Okay, so that's all I gotta say about that. Right, the Beach Boys Endless Summer. Go get a copy of it today. You can find it at your local record store. This one's in pretty good condition, pristine, I would call it. And maybe one of my favorite Beach Boys albums. Everybody always says Pet Sounds, but I think Endless Summer is my favorite Beach Boys album. So, your first record, Phil. Come on, we gotta make this.
What? We're in a time schedule.
No. Did you eat that half an edible? You did, didn't you?
No. Put that back up.
What, the Beach Boys?
Yeah.
Why?
Because you were thinking of the fish and coral. I was thinking of your. Never mind. Okay, put it back down.
So, like, seriously though,
I was thinking of little fish.
have you ever watched the movie Endless Summer?
I was
It's so
watching a
good.
documentary on little fish coming out of the coral, and out of your beard and their beard, out of the greenery, little fish coming out.
Oh, I got my mariachi sandals and my baggies too. I could be a surfer boy. But I chose skateboarding. Maybe that was my drive towards skateboarding for all those years.
It's just your beard, their beard, and the greenery. I'm waiting for a little something.
This is me on the cover.
Okay. Welcome to the jungle, baby. All right.
Oh, that's a painting. That's a piece of art.
Roses.
Kind of pre-digital. That's still pre-digital feeling art that had to happen pre-digital. I'm thinking most of mine are yeah. Does it have the other artwork with the album, like on the insert? Do you remember the original cover? Phil, did you ever see the original cover?
You think
of that
I
album?
remember everything? No.
I do. Original cover of that album was a scene they had to delete because it was pretty graphic and dark, and it was about
If you get older, you're not gonna remember everything.
But if you have that album with the original artwork on it, it's worth more than this because that was the first release, and as soon as they released it, people were like, "You can't put that out."
I don't have
They
that.
They recalled them all back, and there was a horrible album cover. It's a horrible picture. It's my favorite artist, one of my favorite artists, Robert Williams, that did the artwork. But Appetite for Destruction, man. I remember. I can still remember like the first time I
Robin
saw
Williams?
Axel get off that bus. in
Orc?
the video.
From Orc? Not
When
that
he
guy.
No, that's Vulcan.
He's from
The second
Latvia.
jam.
He's from
Going with the
Latvia.
theme. I have a theme on my records tonight. A little theme because we're artists and we do art, and so I figured I'd try to pick out pieces that had really important pieces of art on them. The Atlanta Road section. But look at the great artwork of this guitar playing fish, and he's got he's got a drink in his hand. He's got a little cocktail, and he's got a Bears hat on. It looks like a Bears. It says ARS, and it has a lightning bolt, so it's like Grateful Bears hat. That's a cool picture, and all the bubbles. Back in the day, before they could just take a digital image and they could make it so easily, these things had to be painted by somebody. They had to be produced and painted and photographed and then reproduced into print. And by the time they got to print, they had to be color separated. I mean, there was some serious work that went into making this kind of stuff when we were kids. Nowadays, it's just like snap a picture, slap it on there, done, put it on the internet. Nobody sees it more than 5 minutes and it's gone. Sad. sad. This is hard copy evidence of artwork, music, pictures of old hairstyles and fashions. I mean, the hairstyle, like right there. This is not my beautiful haircut. This is not my guitar. Anyway, Atlanta Rhythm Section. Folks, check it out. What did they do? What was their big song? Was it?
I don't know if I have a favorite Beatle, but George Harrison, All Things Must Pass, and
I think you pick your favorite Beatles from the other three Beatles. George Harrison is the best Beatle.
I'm a big fan of George. Love the covers, love his music, and all the things he did and stuff. You know, love the Mansion, the diversity in his thinking, be like that, and eclectic, Andy Warholish, just diverse. And I got all the money in the world. Here's my mansion. Here's my. Look at that limo in the back, man. That's like.
But it's kind of a meager house. It's not really a mansion. It's kind of a meager home.
He didn't.
Now the way where
like all these musicians, like it's like, what does Trey do from Fish? They tour nonstop. I think if they, I'd like to be a.
I bet you he has a pretty nice house somewhere up in Vermont.
Does he have a house, or is it in his tour bus, or not his tour bus?
Yeah, Bob Weir lives in Mill Valley. He's got a great big house, but he's rarely there because he's always on tour.
Okay, there's another theory. What I'm thinking of is a good one. Do they even have a place to stay? Because they're touring all the time. I think they enjoy doing that.
Hey, it's 6:20. It's 4:20 in California.
All right, so let's get high. So what are we supposed to do next album?
Well, what we yeah, we're supposed to see next album. I got one. Hold on.
All right.
See if you can.
I'll bring this one up. Elvis Presley. It's a Christmas album. Watch new thing on Netflix.
Folks, it's now called the Phil Zone.
See the sign?
Anyway, so my next album is this one. Oh, go ahead. Finish. Do you have a story about Elvis? Tell me your favorite story about Elvis.
No, the movie sucked. That I saw recently. Documentary. Because
I've seen an Elvis documentary. I kind of know his story
I didn't like it.
because we were raised with him. I think I know Elvis's story almost as good as I know George Washington's story. I'm just saying, it's history, and it's something that was so big when we were kids. When I was a kid in the 70s, he was at the end of his, he sees Peter out, and he passes away, and then the whole Elvis is in the building. Elvis left the building. Is Elvis alive? That was a big part of our culture. Was Elvis, and all he did was like go, "Hey, baby." He shaved from here down.
Oh shit! Now you sound like Elvis, and I see fish coming out of your beard.
Hey, baby. Anyway, my next album is this one here, man. Pretty special to me. Because when I fell in love with a girl named Amy, well, there's only one song that came to mind, was Amy. Falling In and Out of Love with You, which is actually two songs on the album. But Pure Parody busting out, great piece of artwork, very Norman Rockwell-esque. It's not Norman Rockwell, but it's just this old cowboy painter. The details on the leather are just fantastic, but it's a painting. So you've got, his name is actually Guy, but it's written really super small. I can't hardly see it.
It's like a Norman Rockwell.
Yeah, Guy. But so yeah, they busting, getting kicked out of the bar, getting kicked out of the tavern. There's a poker chip and a card. He was cheating. He's got his drink in his hand. This looks like he's dropped his lighter, maybe. Nope, no poker chip. Anyway, they didn't have lighters back then. They had sticks and matches. Anyway, Pure Parody busting out. Good album. I mean, honestly, I only know the one song. But the back of it's got some good images again of hairstyles of the time. You can really date albums sometimes by what their hair looked like in the picture. And then a picture of an old-time buggy. Because that's just what you do on your album. You can do whatever you want. RCA.
Exactly. Yeah.
Great album. A song that's in everybody's head, whether you like it or not, man.
It's a great cover. I got that in my... Bringing it up to that. I saw Leslie West on I might watch it again tonight. Leslie West on the YouTube, and just him and his couple of piece band. This is a cover, okay? Very simple. Just a synopsis of John. Great cover. It's Leslie West of Mountain. Here's the insert, what they all play. This is all the whole cover is. Not much of nothing.
Is it a whale tail? What is it?
What is it? That's the whole.
I like that though. The art though. They're
But
getting
the whole color, and this is all they have. What is that, Johnny?
an artist had to sit and make a. It's probably something dirty, but I'm not sure. It looks like a whale to me, like a whale that's been. You know what it is? I know what it is. Duh. It's the view from where they speared the whale at. Cause see the spear's got the rope on it, and it's going back to the boat. Now what that is?
Supposedly the art director, and this is the guys that in the band said, "Hey, man, I'm in the back room. I'm gonna do the insert, man." You know who you look like? You look like that. You look like a documentary from 1970. Yep.
You know what? I think I'm wrong about this one.
This could be a documentary in history.
And then, in 1951, they arrived at the castle.
With gasoline.
I was wrong because I thought I grabbed the wrong one because I was trying to do a theme.
No, it would be with gasoline. It would be with edible.
We'll let it go because this one has a good story. With hits like Parasite and Watching You and Black Diamond
Watching you.
and Rock Bottom and Cold Gin. You know who it is yet? Let Me Go, Rock and Roll. Nothing to Lose, Come and Love Me, She. Okay, if I say one of the names like Deuce or Strutter or Rock and Roll All Night, you know exactly who it is. But all the rest of the songs on the album, dude, nobody knows these songs. They didn't care.
It's killer. Great
They
album.
were waiting for him to sing
Great
Rock
album.
and Roll All Night. They were looking at the makeup and the fire and the lipstick, and they barely saw it. They barely listened to the music. I thought it was a painting, but it's not a painting. It's a photograph, I think. But it'd be a badass painting. What did you think about that when you saw that? You were a little bit older than me, so when you saw these guys come out dressed like this, what did it make you think? You think they were clowns, or you think they were like freaking awesome?
Not clowns by no means. Well, when I saw them twice, they backed up Rolling Stone one time, and I kind of knew what I was getting into. I thought they were rockers. Well, when I saw them on stage, they were I don't know, they were very, very
hairstyles.
Yeah, I mean, I was probably up there to the left. You know, I had long hair and the bell-bottom blue jeans, and yeah.
Those chicks are from Detroit Rock City.
Back in
They were called chicks. Now, that's not offensive. They were actually called chicks back then. But I bought the story on this album is that I got that big collection. The guy said he had a sign. He said he had an autographed Kiss album, but I had to take the whole collection to get the autographed Kiss album. So I got the whole collection. You've heard this story on the show possibly before, and I went through the whole collection looking for the autographed Kiss album. I found 3 Kiss albums, and none of them were autographed. And I was like, well, dude lied to me. But it turns out their autographs are inside this, but they're printed inside. He thought that was a real autographed album cover. So anyway, it's worth a lot more. If you want to buy it, you can send the money to Venmo.com/iVafro. Anyway, okay. All right, you're up. I think you did 2 in a row, though, so you might be done.
Greatest albums of all time, Fleetwood Mac Rumors by far. These cats, they hit it on one album, and name more than 5. You probably know 5 songs. If you're watching the show, you probably know how many albums or bands alone or album do you know all the songs? Pretty much this.
Yeah.
They did it. They did it.
So we got 2 recent check-ins. Our friend Eric Carpenter checked in from Washington State. And then and then 2 comments down, Bob Mosher checked in from Cape Cod. So we're broadcasting nationwide, folks. This is we are a ZZ Top song tonight.
Well, I didn't really think about the nationwide thing. Well, I did.
We already got Jeffrey Blackman on the West Coast.
They're on the coast.
We got more fans that live 5 states away from us than we do in our own state. Most of the people talking to us over here are from another state. Or Chris Johnson, who's from another state of mind, man. Hey, Chris, what's up, buddy? So my last album tonight for this part of the show is going to be this one right here. I just got this week from my friend Chad Ing. It's brand new, hasn't even been opened yet. It's called Sam Bush, Radio John, the songs of John Hartford. And what you got here is Sam Bush doing his very best renditions of these amazing Hartford songs. A Simple Thing Is Love is one of my favorite ones on here. California Earthquake, John McLaughlin. I mean, there's some stuff on here. Granny, won't you smoke some marijuana?
Who's on it? John McLaughlin?
No, he has a song called John McLaughlin that John Hartford wrote. So it's Sam Bush and his band right now. So it's Stephen Mogen and a few other players. But great image on the back of him and John Hartford when they were much younger. Look, there's Sam Bush in the sunglasses and John Hartford on the fiddle, just kicking it, you know.
Yeah.
And over here you got Pete Rowan on the guitar. What a night! Oh my goodness. And over there, I'm not sure exactly who that is playing that particular instrument, the banjo. But you had what a band. Is that David Grisman? No, David Grisman wouldn't be playing the bass. Anyway, great album. I've already listened to it, so I haven't opened it yet. But there's a really great. Kristen, you are in our state. You're one of them. You're one of the ones that are from Illinois. But yeah, and a young Pete Rowan too, because he's just blurry, but you know it's him. Look, he's over there, just like happy with his fro and just checking it out.
That's wrong.
More natural. But I really appreciate this chatting. This was a really great gift. He got 2 copies of it, and I recently had gotten. I thought I ordered an album, but I guess I didn't never actually order it, so I never got the album in the mail. And I started to complain, and they said you didn't order one, and I said, you know what, you're right. And I felt bad about complaining. So Chad got me this as a kind of a responsible replacement for that other album. But that's my 5th album tonight. Sam Bush, Songs of John, Radio John. Please go check it out. It's gonna be an amazing record over time to listen to. The version of No End of Love is just fantastic. You never listen to the song the same way again. And Sam played with John Hartford a ton. He was always John Hartford's mandolin player in all these great recordings of John Hartford. Sam's back there just like Sammy Bush, and he plays the mandolin. And that concludes 5 records. Stalling because 148 shows, 5 records a night. That's a shitload of records, folks. Hope you're enjoying the show tonight. Thanks for tuning in. Our sponsors tonight include Phil N Jon Zone. Yeah. But I'm not sure what that even sounds like out there. I shared some videos from the Chicago Farmer Show last week to go back to what we were talking about, and my sound is horrible. And everybody kept saying my finger was over the microphone, but I think my phone's trying to recognize sound patterns, and it just goes live like crap anymore. It sucks. Hey, Brooke Grosek and Amanda Renee, good to see you guys out there in the world watching us. Check in and say hi. Ask a question of Phil tonight. You guys can ask Phil a question tonight. That's our special guest tonight is Phil Strodes, and he's a painter of records and wood art and birdhouses, and he is going to answer some questions. So if you got any questions for Phil tonight, let's bring them on. Phil, put your thinking cap back on. Okay, that's a pretty good one. And they may not ask any questions, but we'll let them. If you want to ask a question, we'll highlight your name on the show.
Hello, everybody. Happy Friday.
We'll embarrass you in front of all 14 people that might watch our show.
Happy, hope to see everybody who's watching the show in the upcoming months. The reason we're here is because of music and art. And if you're doing it, you're friends of mine and John's. And I miss you guys too. And we'll see each other. Everybody do good things. And
Before you signing off, I got a question for you, Phil. That's a nice shirt. Do you golf much? You have nice shirts. You always have those nice collar shirts that you wear. I'm always like, I fight to put a T-shirt on. If I design one,
it's my rugby shirt.
First question you got is about the meaning of life. Phil, we need to know, says Chris Johnson. What is the meaning of life? Why don't we just start right with the final answer, or the final question of the night? What is the meaning of life? Phil Strodes, what is your meaning of life? How would you answer that?
I was just thinking of that. And when people ask, is the chicken or the egg first? I was driving down the road. An egg, I just saw an egg roll across the road, and it made a fried egg. So I didn't know if the chicken was on that side, but all I know, we had an egg there that sufficed. So I'm not sure. Did it come? It made no sense. I know that, but I didn't think about a fried egg and a chicken last night, so I'm sorry. But about
isn't that the meaning of life question? Is
that's the meaning of life? I know Monty Python had it, but they never had the right answer, and I don't know the meaning of life is that is the meaning of life, where you just hesitate and you don't really know. It's like the black hole or the deep
So
sea.
what Monty Python said was that people are always on the edge of figuring it out, but they're
Like
too
that.
easily distracted. Okay, and they're not wearing enough hats. And so the question then gets asked, well, what was that thing about hats again? Understood? We're almost always that close to figuring it out. And Douglas Adams said that it will be figured out in the exact moment as the Earth gets destroyed. We'll figure out why we're here. But James Taylor says it's enjoying the passage of time, which is probably a great way to look at it. If you enjoy the time you're in and the time you get spent here,
Well, you
that's
have to, otherwise you're really screwed. You'll end up in the one flew over the cuckoo's nest if you don't.
they're
'Cause
waiting.
we're not in that right now.
No, not yet. Maybe someday.
Well, we kind of are in a. Well,
Eric Carpenter does have a question for you, Phil, because you've been painting a long time. So when you started painting, what was it that made you want to keep painting?
The unknown.
Unknown. Sure, I like that. That's a good answer for most questions.
Yeah, because as Supertramp said right here in the back, I'm a dreamer. Just you know, it's just something
Dreamer.
in your head. Oh no.
Oh no. Yeah, great song, great song. We don't own the rights to that song. I know our voices were voice matched to the album, the original press recording, but we own that. So yeah, it's the unknown of what can happen next. When you're a painter, it really is about that kind of because
I haven't painted in a while, but I've been painting recently, and I'm looking at stuff here. I've seen a Fish Elm there, and a Wood Brothers, and a True Emmett Band, and a Mr. Blotto, and
the room he's in, folks, is fantastic. There's so many great things in that room, and there's a lot of fun things. You can look in there. You spend the whole evening in there. We made a movie in there one night. It's a great space. We did make a movie one night in there.
Janet Jackson. Yeah, we did. Janet Jackson, Sonny and Cher.
Did you ever paint a Sonny and Cher album?
Oh yeah,
It would say, "Babe, I got you."
it was pretty tight. I did a Janet Jackson and two Sonny and Chers for a client. Someone wanted some custom work, which I do. If you need some custom, and they came out dope. The way Sonny and Cher fit the album.
Dope is dope, brother.
Dope is dope.
Dope is dope. That's pretty cool. So if you got questions, keep them coming for Phil or me. If you got a question, let us know. We'll probably kill some time here talking about something else. I got a package in the mail today. Before we go any further, we could do mail call because I got a package in the mail today and I want to open it on the show. It's from Gold Mountain Records. It's a
Gold Mountain. What is that?
Gold Mountain Records. They're here. Oh, here. Well, there's my address too if you want. I don't care. It's right there, all covered up. Oh no, there it is. Send me money. Anyway, just don't sign me up for those CD clubs. I don't need those anymore. I've had my fill of the CD clubs. I do some work for them. They do a lot of recording with music for my friend Chad Staley. Bert Stein is the lead producer there at that particular event. He recorded the Bodines albums. He recorded a lot of really great stuff of history. He recorded a Vince Neil album for Vince Neil. I just think that's fantastic that there's a Vince Neil album out there that, you know. But the Smithereens was the other band he had. That was the band he recorded all their albums.
Smithereens, great album.
So he recorded. So I get to do work for his company sometimes as a designer, producer of artwork. And this has got more than just one thing in it. Oh yeah. Oh cool. First time I'm seeing him because I helped him with the design work and the layout and everything. Oh snap! You kidding me? So it's just kind of this simple logo design of the song titles drawn as pictures, but it's embossed and it's got gold foil behind it. See the reflection? Not just a reflection in the plastic. That's in the album cover itself, and you can feel the letters. You can feel the shapes. It's been embossed into the paper. Man, fantastic. So that's what I do for a job whenever I'm not out selling art. Just produce this stuff, and I've been lucky to work with the Band of Heathens like 5 times now, on 5 different albums. I'm just gonna open it all the way up.
The band?
The Band of Heathens. Are they called Band of Heathens, or they're the Band of Heathens? They're the Band of Heathens. They're out of Texas, and they're kind of what we call like a kick-ass band. That's what they are. I'm not going to put it in a genre or anything like that. But there again, you can see it better there. So you can see that they've actually embossed this foil into the cover. And it's kind of it wasn't really my idea, but I make sure it gets produced the right way. Man, it looks really good. The back is the same way. Is this foil? Oh, the back's just printed. Anyway, that's pretty cool.
I got this hat from my friend. It's pretty cool.
Oh, you got a Band of Heathens hat, yeah. And then what's really cool is they did all these pictures for the song titles. So there's a little picture that did
You know what it reminds me of? I just started the series from the beginning, Ozarks.
Oh man, look at this. Damn.
What's in there?
I pinched it.
Special stuff.
I mean, I know it's in here because I produced it, so I know it's in there, but I haven't seen it. I haven't touched it in person yet. This is like the poster.
Wow, dude.
Comes with it. And that's all it is. Which I didn't think. I thought it was going to have liner notes. Maybe that's on the other side.
I got a stash coming, don't I?
Yeah, you got one of these. There's two of them in there. One of these is for you.
I haven't seen you like in 3 months.
I've only got one other record right now for you, the Vince Herman.
I'm teasing
then you open this, and then that's where the liner notes in the. Anyway, so Band of Heathens, new album. Great
beautiful,
new song.
John. Beautiful, beautiful.
Called Don't Let the Darkness. All the songs are kind of poignant to the way the world's feeling these days. You know, Heartless Year, Simple Things, the stuff that's important right now. And I think they're really touching a lot of bass with what they're doing here. And there's not a lot of bass on it. It's not like one of those albums that you play in your car. But maybe it is. The bass line is probably pretty rough and tough and good stuff. But anyway, I know where I'm at tonight. I'm excited because I'm just seeing that new thing come out of the box. Oh, so anyway, that's what I made last week or a couple weeks ago. And actually, Eric Carpenter, the album Remote Transmissions, I helped them cut the window out of the front of that one. So sometimes they'll have the design already, but they don't know how to make it foil. They don't know how to make it.
Where's Eric Carpenter from?
Eric Carpenter's from Washington State. He's
He's
through the shithouse wire. He's one of our shitheads.
Oh, that's right. I know Eric.
Yeah, Remote Transmissions. This is the one he's talking about here. And this is great. This has people, a whole bunch of guest stars. Hayes Carl and a whole bunch of other people on it. Butch Walker.
Great. I do believe I have that from
collaboration. And this has a hole in it. This has did I give you one of these too?
Yes, you did.
Because I always get two copies. There's a window here, so this piece slides out of it. I don't know. And so they get the he's north of Seattle, it sounds like. They get this really great idea, but they just don't know how to make it work. So I take their idea and show them how to cut it up and make it work, and they gave me a little stipend. You know, they take care of me too. And that's Phil's copy, unopened. I'll leave you the plastic one, or maybe I'll send you the one I already opened. That's kind of messed up. And I'm probably sure they got CDs as well, and CDs were created the same way with the glisten glow of the.
That's beautiful, man. I like that a lot.
So it turned out fantastic. I get kind of nervous when you do a project like this because you have to send them a whole bunch of different kinds of files to make this happen the way it's supposed to happen, and it did happen. It happened right. So
if you get too excited, the label off. So relax. See, now who's gonna get that one? Limited edition.
I always got two copies of the CD. I try to leave one wrapped, and I listen to one of them. I put one in the truck because I still got a CD player in the truck I can listen to. I need to listen to this record again through because I really although I worked on it and we worked on it for like 3 months. I've never really heard the original tracks off the CD yet because you had to wait till Phil froze like an ice cube. And then you could start talking about him and telling funny stories about when Phil was younger, a story he's not supposed to tell, which I can't tell anybody either. I won't tell anybody because he'd be upset if he found out I told that story. And I might get shot or something. I don't know. So, another box for Phil to send a record out in. I'll send you a couple of records at the end of the week, Phil. Actually, I got to ship out paintings the next couple of days. Monday. So I'll send them out Monday. Hey, Randy Steingraber. What's up, buddy? Good to see you. North of Seattle, Eric Carpenter. My friend works at a place in Seattle called the Monkey, something, I think. Cowboy Monkey, not Cowboy Monkey, something Monkey. Or something Cowboy. Anyway, it's a punk rock kind of bar, I would guess. My gatherings. Probably not. But it's cool that we get people out there in the world that are listening to us and paying attention. And Phil, when you get a chance to chime back in, let me know. That's Phil. He has an intermittent internet sometimes, and so we'll let that just be what it is. But, you know. So, yeah, thanks for checking in tonight and being part of the show. That was a mail call. I'm pretty excited about that to get the new piece. That's just it's nice too because it's printed on this paper that's like a nice matte finish paper with the super gold. Man, I made that. I'm going to show it again. Look at that glimmer. And it's on album. Band of Heathens is on. This is on Band of Heathens Records. My good friend Chad Staley. I'll have to give it up to Chad because he's part of all this too. He's helped me get all this work. He's management for the band. Plays in the Great American Taxi. He does what he does in the world. He made a lot of good things happen. When we thought Leftover Salmon was over, I'm going to give a lot of credit to Chad for bringing Vince back out and playing and doing the shows we got to see. And some of the best shows we ever saw were those shows that were the Great American Taxi shows that started off the rebirth of Vince Herman and the crew. Very much appreciate Chad Staley. We get him on the show, but he keeps denying my invitation. Well, I swear to God, I know him though. He's a good friend of mine. I hope to meet him someday. No, that's Todd Snyder. But Phil's back, but he went to take a drink or take a pee or something like that. He's up there talking to Laura Boynk. She's watching. Hey, John McKee, what's up there, buddy? Good to see you. We thought about you guys this week, you and Debbie. That's really good to see you out there checking in, chiming in. Sometimes you forget how many good people there are in your world and how many good people that you cross paths with. Sometimes you only cross paths with them a few times, but you connect and you become friends in this digital world out there. And you get these little reminders sometime. And John McKee and Debbie McKee, you guys are always out there putting out positive things and being part of the good stuff. So thank you guys for being part of the show tonight and checking in. Yeah, I know. You were at that show, John McKee. Great American Taxi played in downtown Decatur. I think the power went out, and they did a show without the power. See, that's a special show. I don't care who you are. At Block's Brewery, a little place that is 3 restaurants to go there now. Oh, wow. My phone just fell. All right. I got it. I fixed it. Don't worry. But yeah, Great American Taxi, great band. And then that's how I met Chad Staley, because I was following Vince, and we ended up meeting Chad, and we've done so much work together. I can show you 5 Todd Snyder albums, 4 more Band of Heathens albums, Vince Herman album, all the stuff that they put me through and they've given to me to do. And so, and those are my heroes. I mean, honestly, people look up to the musicians they love, and I was following Leftover Salmon Band, and I thought, these guys are great, they're wonderful, I'll go see their shows. I had a blast at all their shows, and I get to meet them. And that turned into friendships and working together and out there for Vince and Drew and everybody in the crew and Doctor all you guys. Great music. Thank you for doing what you do. Doctor, professor, what was I calling him? Okay, anyway, he's a doctor or a professor. One of the bass player, Greg Garrison, Dr. Gregory Garrison. Yeah, we announced his name. But good people we get to meet in our travels in our world. We just do art for music. I started doing art for music whenever I loved music and couldn't get to enough of it. I met Phil at something where there was art and music, and we that new Leftover album is going to be really good. Eric, I agree. Yeah, so I feel blessed to be part of that guy's world and get to enjoy them. If you love something, if you love art or music, a band, a person, a thing, and you don't harass them to the point of scaring them, you just follow them around and enjoy them. Most of the time, you're going to find out they're good people, and they're just like you, and they want to have a good time too. And it ends up being
Hello.
A good experience for everybody. And
I was in the kitchen listening to you.
I got to talking when you weren't.
I can't.
It's okay. I have to fill time, because if I don't, as soon as I stop talking when you're not here, it's like really quiet and weird. It's like a bathtub with no bubbles. So.
But I agree with what you were saying. Yeah, it's about art and the friends and the friendships that we met later in life. They didn't know everybody early in life, but the friends who watch the show are obviously our friends, and it is watching. We enjoy. I wish we had more time with each and one of all of you. Well, we tried to do it through this goofy media. But I enjoy the hugs and affection and high fives and from my friends.
It's the Phil N Jon Zone. It's what we do. We can do whatever we want. But we don't do whatever we want. We do whatever we should most of the time.
We can do whatever we want.
But we're here now, and we're checking in and checking out. We're not checking out yet. No, we're checked out probably.
Check it in or check it out.
Check it out. Phil, you got intermittent tonight. You got weather up there?
Locked up.
Yeah, you'll be back in a second. If you're still talking, I can still hear you. But yeah, you're locked up. It's not a bad shot of you. You're almost like you're telling me something intelligent, kind of. The thing is, we got this Zoom program for free. It was downloaded, and we started doing this show. And I end up paying for the monthly subscription for it or whatever. So we get 4 shows for my payment each year, and then we talk sometimes, and we do or each month, and we talk sometimes. We have meetings on. I can send out videos and stuff, and need to use it more. I need to use this Zoom more to where I'm actually making the $12 back every month. You think by now we'd have some great sponsors, like somebody would want to like us to talk about them on the show, and the 10 people that watch us would really.
You would think we did if we were good.
if the content was quality, is that the thing?
You want to say hi to everybody? Come on up.
I think we do all right. I think we do okay with our event until we get strung out towards the end and it all falls apart.
Chester says hello, everybody. Say hi.
I'm seeing a lot of Vince Herman stuff coming up. He's playing at Cape Girardeau down by St. Louis, at a big giant lake down there. He's playing at a bunch of festivals have announced him just recently. The Grassy Down, Down Grassy, something like that. Well, we appreciate that, Chris Johnson. He says, I sailed all through the COVID days watching this show. When things were really creepy, you guys were a connection and kind of a break from the doom or drama. It's nice. You are really... That's a good pose. I want to get a shot of that. Hold on, I'm going to save this image. Hold on, folks. Whoops, that's not it. There it is. That's a good picture of my friend Phil and his dog right there, Chester, frozen. Even if it's frozen there, that's a pretty good shot of him. That's my good friend, as I would call him. But yeah, we appreciate that. We were just doing this to keep ourselves, we don't give any of this advice to make y'all feel better. We just do it to make ourselves feel better. So, and that being said, as Todd Snyder might say, thanks for watching. Anybody out there play music? We always have musical guests, but just no musical guests tonight. We kind of, I didn't try very hard this week. I slept a lot, took some naps, and didn't make it off the couch more times than I should have. But if you want to come on and play a song, if anybody would ever want to come on and play a song or tell a story or an appropriate joke or something like that, we always welcome guests and creative, interesting advisors on our show, or advice or content fillers, basically. Otherwise, lots of dead air. Now that Phil is gone again, quality, you can judge that. Thumbs up or thumbs down. You choose if we're quality programming or not. We're not ABC Network yet or the Disney Channel, but we're having fun. And he had another idea for a segment tonight, but I think he dropped it.
No,
are you doing weather there? What's going on?
Well, come on, get down.
It's Friday night around here. They got Blues Traveler rocking the other room. I'm doing the zone in this room. The beer's cold.
Really? That sounds like a song.
Well, we could write a country song tonight. You want to write a country song tonight together?
Yeah, we can do that.
Could write a country
I'd be a great songwriter. I would. You got it? Ready? Hold on. Let me get my ukulele. Hold on.
What key? Ooh, those keys. Peace out, Dunlop. Good to see you very much out there. Great. Thanks very much for checking in. We're just going to goof off for the rest of the show now that you're going, so.
Hold on. I'm going to get a guitar signed by friends. I don't know how to play a lick. That's from Molly Tuttle. And there's a Billy Strings on there. And there's a bunch of other my friends from a hard. So this is what I'm going to play. I don't know. I don't know a chord, but.
Well, before we start singing, we got to have a theme for the song now.
Okay.
You're probably not going to get any serious music out of a song.
Broken Strings and Long Wires.
Ooh, okay. Is that the first line?
Yeah.
Oh man, I tell you, that's a pretty sound right there. When you touch your guitar and you haven't touched it in a week, and it's over there, and it's just like it's hovering in tune.
Like I don't really know how to play. You can't.
When you play it, it sounds like kind of garbage,
I don't know how to
Painting is
play.
the theme. So I painted a picture of my mama.
It's a broken strings along wires.
She was down sunbathing in the Bahamas.
But she lost the boat in the ocean.
We should do that more often. That's creative. Grandmas and Bahamas and mamas and pickup trucks. Oh, there weren't too many country songs about the Bahamas, but if you wrote a song about Bahamas and your mama, then you might get a country gig
Oh,
where you
we're
can sing
going
a lot in
for
the
that.
Bahamas.
Okay.
No, what he said about painting, I just rhymed Bama with Bahamas. So
Look at that. Look at that. That's you right there.
oh, I wrote on that guitar.
Yeah, you're with Molly
Years
and
ago.
Billy. This classical.
Molly Tuttle and Billy Strings.
Oh yeah. And you're on there too.
You know what those Billy Strings fans would do for that right
Betty
now?
Hartford. Yeah.
Oh, that's a great guitar. That's Hartford.
I got a couple of them. It was from back in the Hartford days. I think nothing. I do, but I don't. They're on the wall. I got a bunch of them back there. So not a bunch, but yeah.
Now they're rocking Alabama Shakes in the next room. It's just feeling this is going to be
You
a
can't
fire.
sell it. Molly goes, thanks, Phil.
No, you wouldn't want to sell it. It's your item, it'll go in your museum.
What am I gonna do with it?
It goes in the museum next to the Pee Wee Herman dolls, and that's no joke, folks. There are Pee Wee Herman dolls, not too far from Phil. Actually, there's some great classic toys in that cabinet she's got. Ridiculous, And we're gonna get pinched for sound on my background, but that's okay. Can you hear the music coming?
What's
from
our
my phone?
song? What are you gonna do for tonight?
What are you gonna do tonight?
Let's do something punky.
Let's do something funky, he said.
Punky.
Oh, like. Something punky. That's the only punk song I know. My friends know a lot of punk songs. There was a lot of good punk bands in my town growing up here. A lot of good punk musicians, a lot of punk rock that was popularized and made people got excited and wrote good punk rock music from my town. Not everybody can say that about their town, and it wasn't recorded, and so nobody really knows it happened, but it was there. A lot of punk rock music was like that. I wonder how many punk rock bands were out there that nobody ever heard, except the punk rocks who played them.
Pete Jive's on there.
See, that's exciting. That's about all I got to me tonight, folks, for music-wise. We'll see what happens throughout the show.
I can't play. I'll let you play, John. I don't know how to play.
John McKee, you were in a punk rock band, and you played with one of my favorite punk rockers from town. You guys did some great music together, and some of the best people ever in my town that influenced my musical taste. People like Charlie Stovall and Dave Clary and John McKee, and the people that were playing music that when I was a little kid, they were just a little bit older than me. So they were little kids too, but they were like a little bit older than me. So I called them the older kids, and they put us into some. You don't know what kind of influence you had on us back then, John McKee. We did. Me and my couple of my buddies, we followed you guys around, and we're just like, I still like swoon when I see Charlie. So I mean, it's he's my buddy.
Marty did it. Marty signed. Remember Marty?
Marty Volpe. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and there's
That's a
Cody
pretty cool
over
one.
here.
Flea. Did you get Fleas?
Farmer.
Looks like Jerry Reed.
There's Jake Willis and there's a Marty.
Yeah. That's great. That's great. Autographs, folks. Autographs. Phil doesn't like to get autographs, but he'll have them sign the record sometimes. And he says he doesn't like to get autographs, but he's got an awful lot of autographs.
I don't know about it. I don't like the word autographs, but I guess that's the word. But the memories of that thing is just a beautiful thing. I feel it and go, man, I remember that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's Ed and there's
Chicago Farmer on there?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm in denial. I'm not going to
but,
miss great times. Can you hear my music now? You can hear that music coming through my speaker, can't you?
Yeah, I'm not even listening to your music.
All right.
It's just about my theory of thinking when Betty Hartford, I'm gonna bring Betty Hartford came over at Hartford Festival. I really didn't know who in the heck. I didn't know who she, and got to talk to Betty Hartford about it's John Hartford's ex-wife, whatever. And got to meet her daughter Katie. It's my story. And then got to talk to her. We talked for about 20 minutes about John Hartford. This is Betty Hartford, John's. And I'm some newbie, and I was thanks to John Griffin to bring me to Hartford Festival. And we're talking about I got some stories I can't even actually talk about on the show. But Betty Hartford, and then later in the afternoon, she goes, "Hey Phil, I want to bring you up. This lady's going to be and that was Molly Tuttle, and it was a beautiful thing." And I go, and then she played a song in front. I go, "You're going to go places," and I got that. The bottom line is, when I say you're going to go places, you're going to go places.
Yeah. That was a great year. I mean, that was the year that we had Pete Jive was there playing for us too. We had music all throughout the weekend that weekend at your stand. I miss it. You know what? I can't wait to do it again. Somewhere down the line, Shoe Fest, wherever it's at, Frankfurt Music Bluegrass Festival.
I told an employee of mine, if I never see that person again, and I can sense people musically or whatever. If I say you're going to go places, you're going to go places. As I get older, I can sense you're going to go places, musically especially. I just got that sense. And if I'm wrong, probably rare.
Well, we're all wrong sometimes.
No, I'm not.
What else did they announce today? They announced something else today too. There was a couple things that got announced today that were pretty awesome that I was lucky enough to help with. I don't know. It's that's the way it goes. What was the other one though? Damn it. Anyway, damn it. John McKee has been to a festival since Swagstock. Now Swagstock happened a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. I miss it. Yeah, 2 second ones. There's another one. Hold on. There's 3 that announced today. I thought. I'm trying to think what the third one is. I know I got a third one. Hold on. Here I got one. Things I've been involved with this week. Has been interesting. The bands I got to announce this week, I'll show you here. So like the Frankfurt Bluegrass Festival, July 8th and 9th. Look at the band list on that. Just ridiculous. Traveling McCurry's, Tim O'Brien Band, Becky Buller Band, Special Consensus, Henhouse Prowlers, man, bam. Grateful String Band, all the way to New Legacy. Great music. And over here you got the Happy Trails Music and Arts Festival, Chicago Farm and the Field Notes, One Way Traffic, Colt Ball, Fleetwood and Family, Grateful Super Jam. That's going to be a blast. July 27th through 30th. And in October, you got the Caverns with the Sam Bush, Leftover Salmon, String Dusters, Pete Rowan, Ridiculous, I'll call it. Those are 3 things they announced this week that I have my name on. And you know what's funny about all 3 of these posters? There's 3 posters here. And I'm real careful about putting my name and my signature and little Jerry somewhere on every poster. And guess what is not on any of these 3 posters? My name. I don't know why it had happened there. I guess I just forgot. And they were sharing them all the day, and I was like, you know what? I didn't sign any of those posters. And maybe that's the new thing. You just got to know I made it. I don't want the credit for it anymore. I just want people to go to the show and have a blast. You know?
I don't care about that.
That's a jam.
Don't care about that.
You tuned in tonight to a very special performance of the Phil N Jon Zone. No guest night. Our no guest nights are actually sometimes better than our guest nights. So thank you for tuning in so far to the show. We have more segments to do if you're still out there and you still got nothing going on. Stay tuned.
Shit, we got a lot more, man.
We could go all like another 40 minutes.
We can do what we want.
We can. It's our show.
Because if you're watching, then you're doing what just basically I'm talking to John, so you're basically just watching us babble.
They're just kind of voyeuring in our phone call.
Yeah, pretty much.
This is us
You
just talking like
freaks.
we would talk.
You know what that is? They're freaks, but you know what? They're in our cult.
Hey, everyone's a little bit of a freak at times, you know. Sometimes for
little
better reasons than others.
Well, if you're not a freak, then don't watch the show, because you have to have a little edge in your mind if you're watching this.
You know, it's funny because there's a lot of society that doesn't have that edge. It has their own edge, which is just kind of rounded. And then there's a lot of my friends and the people I hung out with and who I grew up as and who I know who have that edge. It says a lot about a person. Because do you think that we're a minority, the edgy people?
Mm-hmm. I think we do.
She says we do.
Because we're fun.
Yeah.
I just watched One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest last night. It's like Martini when he is getting grilled. I don't want it. I just want my cigarettes.
Great movie, great book too, by the way. Wonderful story.
Yeah.
Not really a wonderful story, but a story in itself. Very intriguing. Ken Kesey wrote that book, the acid test guy. And he got famous off that movie, and then he was able to do whatever the hell he wanted for the rest of his life. Probably, that was my assumption.
Juicy fruit. Yeah, I mean, yeah, and then I can't handle the ending, man. I kind of ripped. Yeah.
Oh, it's tough. The ending's tough. Those early Jack Nicholson movies. How about Easy Rider? The end of Easy Rider. Whew, don't spoil it, but woo, that's a tough ending. Remember the end of Easy Rider?
What movie?
Easy Rider.
I know. I'm just fucking with you. Just look at
don't
the
spoil
artwork. You got a cat. You put your name on there.
Chris Johnson says we should have a call-in segment where people call in and rant about their conspiracy theories.
Well, I have I believe, yeah.
I think the biggest conspiracy theory is
What's
there
our
are
symbol?
theories. Well, as
Hey,
an artist,
Chris.
I can say
Chris has been.
it's some kind of bird. I think, man. Do we have a symbol for the Phil N Jon Zone? It's like a paintbrush that turns into a guitar that's with a beer on it that has a doobie.
This is like this. Aziz Light.
Like a light beer commercial?
No, I don't know whether we don't have a symbol.
No, then we'd be a cult.
Well, we are. Chris, what are you doing? Watch. Okay. Right.
Chris, we could put you on the Zoom if you ever wanted to. We could even just do your audio, and you could be a ranter if you wanted to. We only have a few rules. They're pretty simple. Choose a side first of all, and if you do, be on our side.
Okay.
We might not even be on the same side. You guys don't know that.
I'm watching the Ozarks. I'm in season 2, 3. I haven't really watched the whole thing from top to bottom. Man, that's screwed up.
It is screwed up, and because he's such a good guy. That's the hardest thing about that show. Is Jason Bateman is such a nice guy, and everything he's ever done in his whole life.
Do you understand when they say Naperville? It's where I grew
Yes.
up.
Yes. And honestly, the first time I heard about things like that happening in the world, the word Naperville was in the same sentence. So I'm not going to give Naperville any guff or scruff. I'm not definitely.
No, I mean, just...
But there's a certain element of Naperville apparently that's gets into TV shows like Ozark.
Give me 30 seconds. Crack up the our posse. I'm gonna have a cigarette. Can you do that?
We got to crack up this posse.
I won't be that long. Come on. I got to put.
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead. You're fine. Go ahead.
I got to put Molly Tuttle and John Griffin away.
Come up with some surprises for Phil when he comes back, folks. When he gets back, we'll have some kind of surprise for him. All right. I'm not sure what it's going to be, but it's going to be fun. Freaking classic. He's cranking up his tunes. But that's my good friend Phil. Like I said, I was saying earlier, I met him at an event where there was a festival in 2013. We happened to be set up a few booths from each other. He'd heard of my art, and I just discovered his art. He said he heard of my art. I don't know what that means. I did the poster, but me and him just hit it right off. We've been friends ever since, and I think that there's you are a conspiracy, Chris Johnson. You're a conspiratation. consultation is what we should have probably, or an intervention maybe even better. That doesn't really work. But anyway, so if you're out there checking in tonight, please thank you for checking in. I remember the good things every day. We get so lucky. What I said earlier in the show about like all the things I was worried about happening today, none of them happened. You ever notice that? Like most days when you have those thoughts that you're like, wonder if that's going to happen today, man. Today's the day that's going to happen. And at the end of the day, you have to have a gratitude for things that didn't happen that you thought might happen. And maybe that'll change your perspective on how you look at each day. Don't worry in the morning to think that you should worry, so there'll be something that you can look back on and say didn't happen. But make an effort to remember each good day you get. Okay, every good day you get that we're here, because you ain't getting more than one you know of, and that's the one you're in. And the ones that were then are then. So I write some poetry sometimes without even trying. So write that one down when you get a chance. We're lucky to have Phil with us, even for the short amount of time that his internet holds out. He's, like I said, one of my best friends, and a brother if I had to pick one. So, Chris Johnson, it is fun to have you here. It could become anything we want it to become, and you've been a good part of it, and you've seen a good chunk of shows. So, thanks for tuning in. Get us some sponsors, will you? Get some sponsorships for us, so we can keep doing the show forever. There's a great show that they do. Excuse me, oh my. There's a great show called Folktown that they do from Germany. Very good show. My friend Tobias hosts it. And he has a hard time keeping his show together. I think he might be paying his musicians. I'm not sure exactly how it works. But he has these musicians come in and play songs from all over the world, from like Scandinavia to Tennessee to Germany to Russia they're plumbing in from all over the place. And they'll pick a band or a musician and they'll all cover a song. The last one they did was Townes Van Zandt. It was an amazing show. And get a chance to check out Folktown, F-O-L-K Town. And watch it and pay attention to what Tobias does, because it's an overly worldly thing. But he's picking all these American musicians. He did one that was, I think the next one, or the one they just had, was Laurel Canyon. And they did a John Prine Day. And they did a Joni Mitchell Day. And every time they do it, all these musicians from all around the world are playing these great American songs. And it really made for a good show. So Folktown, you can be our sponsor. Although we'll sponsor you first. I sponsor Folktown when I can. Give them $10 today. You're muted, Phil. So, there you go. What wisdom did you just impart on us before we unmuted you?
You're always muting me.
Well, only because you turned your music up a little bit, and I wanted to tell that story about the story I just told was about. I don't remember what it was. But whatever I just said, I wanted the folks to be able to hear it. And we kept you there, and then you froze up, and you disappeared, and then you came back without you were even there. So it was really weird.
That's part of life.
That's spooky. So something's going on with your internet downstairs. That's all I'm going to say about that. And there's a heap of that going on. I'm telling you about it. Heap. You're right, heap. Heap big love for my friend Phil. Heap big love. I don't think they say that anymore. I'm going to say it. Heap big. I got love. My love for you is heap big. Remember that as a whole horrible Indian spoke word they used to say. They say me like you. Man. How? No, it wasn't hi. It was how. But still, Yatahe is how you actually say hello in Navajo. So
yeah, it's the way. Yeah.
I used to know how to
say it without knowing it, but yeah, there's a way. Yeah.
I know the word beautiful in Navajo is Dajonie, and the word number 6 is Akastaka'a. But I don't even remember like 5 words. I learned Navajo when I was younger. I lived in Arizona, and
now I want to go salmon fishing.
Yeah, hey, I want to go salmon fishing too. Big pink salmons. I don't even know. Do I like salmon? I don't know. Probably.
Oh man, delicious.
I'll eat them. Okay, so the last question for Phil tonight before we go into any other segments is the end of the Phil question segments. Is Phil, can you leave us with some comforting words, just a little wisdom to make the journey more bearable?
Okay.
No pressure.
I don't need this pressure on.
No pressure.
To make it unbearable.
No, more bearable, not unbearable. We all know how to make it unbearable.
To make it more bearable. Surround your soul with sunshine.
Soon, hopefully. The sun better come out pretty soon, or I'm gonna have a
No.
fight with the clouds.
Surround your inner being with stickers.
Coaster. Like a coaster for beer. I also have another one here that says Ernie Hill.
Ernie Hill.
Pretty special, wordsofernest.com. Production manager tonight is bringing in the refreshments. It's going to be one of those. I think I'm going to have this and then some spaghetti meatballs after the show.
I'm just checking on the dog. I'm just checking on the dog.
It's iced tea, folks. I'm a David Lee Roth in it. It's just iced tea, sweet tea.
Yeah, David Lee.
You ever seen that video of the Clash calling out David Lee Roth? Have you ever seen that? Because as a Clash fan, you should see that. I should send you the link after the show for the 83 festival. And David Lee Roth comes out on the stage with a bottle of Jack Daniels, and he proceeds to chug it as part of his show. He chugs this bottle of Jack Daniels. And earlier that day, the Clash had said, there's a band tonight that's going to chug Jack Daniels, but it's really sweet tea. And apparently, David Lee Roth, his bottle of Jack Daniels was sweet tea. But it looks like Jack Daniels in the bottle. And so he would bring it on stage with him to be a cool badass. And he would drink. It is on YouTube, John McKee. And he would drink out of the bottle. But Joe Strummer called him out that night. And he's like, nah, dude, you're a wussy. And actually, Joe Strummer, it's a great video of the Clash because they get pissed. They get pissed that people aren't making a big enough difference, dude. It's a great video.
I've never seen that.
It's a great video. Joe Strummer is one of Phil's, one of his friends he grew up with.
Yeah, I got to see the Clash 2 nights in a row, and it closed my eyes and picture the night and see what I saw, and it was a beautiful thing.
Probably gonna background music tonight is not my fault. YouTube or Facebook or whatever. I'm gonna download the video as soon as it's over so I can swap it.
I mean, I can put on something else, but I'm not gonna.
Not your background music. I can hear. Well, unless you can't really hear it. I got background music in my house. It's really good. It's Friday night in my house. That's all I'm saying. So we're glad you could be part of the Phil and Jon Zone. We're glad we could do the Phil and Jon Zone. We have no plans to see how long it'll go on. We do have other segments, of course. I mean, it's been kind of a big week for something out there, folks, and I'm not gonna say what it was. But I'm just going to play the intro reel to Phil Sports. Because it's been a big week for Phil and Sports, I have a feeling. His bracket might have got busted right away, but he's still here. Now look, the fact that I know that, does that mean something?
Oh, no.
Did you get your bracket busted right away?
Well, sports-wise, it's March Madness bracket time. Early shows, I gave out 3 teams. UCLA, Xavier, and Connecticut. UCLA lost Gonzaga. What a game last night. Xavier plays tonight, and Connecticut won. So, besides that, I'm looking
forward. How much do you win? How much do you win? Do you get money?
Actually, yes, you win money, but yes, I'm not in the winning side of it. The other half is because she picked some crazy ass. Yes, but that was my pick for the show. Doesn't mean I'm gonna win money. I'm into the brackets. I'm gonna watch the game after the show, eat some good food, and the baseball season's coming up. I know John's a State Bird fan, and I'm a Chicago Cub fan, and the White Sox, I don't know.
Can't even say their name.
Football season, Bears did a lot of crazy stuff. Hawks, Blackhawks suck. Bulls, I don't know what the hell they're doing. I like sports. I was watching a documentary on cricket, the biggest sport in the world, and how they Mumbai, something or another, and sports is we played bocce ball in the backyard. That's a sport. Yeah, I miss bocce ball. We'll do
anything.
It again.
Could be a sport depending on how you do it. If you compete,
right. We can play tiddlywinks. Yeah.
No, that's serious. There really is a tiddlywinks champion out there somewhere.
Baseball World Series was, or the world thing was pretty cool with the countries. Looking forward to March Madness tonight. I don't know.
I looked at my wall just now. I got a bunch of pictures on my wall. I can't get them down to show you, but there are so many smiles of people who smile.
Smiles are a good thing.
And somehow or another, some of these smiles are because of me. As my daughter, she's smiling. My niece, I take responsibility for that, but close enough. My little sister, I made him smile when I took the picture. You know, well, except the school pictures. But smiles are good to have. I would have to say that smiles are my favorite sport. Smiling is my favorite sport. Is that now? Can't say that's not a sport, right? Smiling.
No, that's fine. It's a sport.
It's part of being a good sport.
It's a sport.
And we're getting deep now. On that note.
Dun, 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 dun.
You used to give him just a minute. If you watch the first 10 shows, 20 shows, I give him 1 minute. And I was real mean about it at first. I timed it. Hell, the soundtrack is almost a minute long. And I timed it and I would cut him off. But I don't do that anymore because I really try to
Well, you're mean.
be fair with Phil because he's the boss. He's the one writing the checks, which we haven't received any yet of. But if you do something for 148 weeks and you do it out of love for Chris Johnson, love for the people that watch the show, love for our fans, our friends, our Jeffrey, Blackmans, our Cape Cod Bob, all the way from Cape Cod, all the way out to Eric Carpenter in Seattle. We got a crazy, weird following of people that I could never have explained that.
Eric, you gonna go see Fish on the West Coast coming up?
He might be gone. Dude, people got bored a long-ass time ago.
Okay.
But we'll ask him if that he chimes back in. Excuse me. Bag toss.
Is there anybody watching right now?
A few people are. Yeah, we got watchers, dude. We got watchers. I think Kristen's still out there. I see a handful of people still watching. My counter's not really always accurate, but you're out there. Say hi. Tell us where you're from. It is. There's a counter. There's like a little number in the corner that says there's 4 people watching, and one of them's my phone. One of them's Laura. Amy might be a third one.
Laura's
So
upstairs.
you are number 4.
Every time we go upstairs, what are you doing up there?
She might have it on 2 screens. So that
Really?
the thing is, I know one cat, Bob, Cape Cod Bob. He was going to live music tonight, so he was listening in his car. He had the audio going through his car. We appreciate it all. Whatever. We're just having a good time. This is always a very important part of my week to do this with Phil every week and the time we get to spend together. And you should see us on date night. Whoa. Those are the real back shots. I don't even record that. I love it right before Phil gets ready to say something really intelligent. He just he does that face right there he's doing right now. Whatever he says next, you better listen.
Probably should, actually. But I'm not ready to speak.
You know what? Sometimes silence is golden.
Hey, you were going to say exactly what I was going to say.
Enjoy the silence, as Depeche Mode might say. You know,
No. Damn it, you said it again.
silent but deadly. Oh no, the sounds of silence. Silent night, deadly night. You like Christmas stuff?
No,
What do you think of horror Christmas movies?
You're good, I'm good. You're bad, I'm bad. You're good, I'm bad.
It's just bad cop in here.
Hey, how many shots are you doing? I have to go upstairs and do a shot now.
That's the second shot. Only the second shot. I told you I'd take my shots in small
You're
pieces.
full of John Griffin.
I blame it all on the production assistant, production manager.
I looked up to you back in the day. Now I'm just gonna go, what the hell? You're an instigator. And every time you do that, I think of a
I
little.
wouldn't do it if it wasn't Friday night.
It's Friday.
Friday night, brother, and you know what? I think I did all right this week. I'm gonna pay myself in a little bit, a couple dollars, $2 and change.
Good for you.
Just got paid today. Got me a pocket full of Strange. No Strange.
That's a great band. I listened to them. It was a couple weeks ago. That song got me a pocket full of change. 3 dudes, and I cranked it up. of my
So
semi-mutants.
this,
And damn, that was a killer song.
this is gonna sound really weird, but the song Just Got Paid Today. I actually heard it from an industrial Chicago band called Big Black. You remember Big Black? Steve Albini and Wax Trax Records, and probably pre-Wax Trax Records, actually. Steve Albini might have been helpful to start Wax Trax Records.
What the hell are you talking about?
Okay, it's a really dark band. Industrial music. So you got really... And Steve Albini's like a little skinny little dude, and he's like, kind of like that. And he did these really weird, dark albums. One's called Hammer Party. One's called Songs About Beeping. But the song that they just stole the lyrics, because it wasn't really even... They didn't even bill it as Just Got Paid Today. In one of his songs, he said, "Just got paid today, got me a pocket full of change," or whatever. And I was sold on that lyric right there, and I made me like the band. And it took me a couple years to figure out that that was a ZZ Top song. And they were just copying those lyrics off for their jam. Now I go back and listen to the first band, the Big Black Band. They're not, I mean, it's not my favorite. I know I listened to it. I appreciate it's still there. But Steve Albini is a huge Chicago underground. You know, you talk about those shows you went and saw when you were younger, the weird punk shows, the stuff that you accidentally saw. He was probably part of it, you know.
Probably. You know, I don't remember all that stuff. I don't. But if I was there. Didn't appreciate it. I was there, part of that stuff.
Yeah, John McKee, they do have that album out, and it's dark, and it's violent, and it's angry, and it's like this age of music before grunge it was kind of underground angst music, because he was pissed. And some
That's
of the stuff he says in the album is dark and disturbing. Now, whatever we got out of it, I ended up with Just Got Paid by ZZ Top, so you can't beat
Great
up...
word I'd like to use in the music that I like is angst word. Angst music. AGNST. I like angst music. It doesn't have to be punk. Angst could be country, bluegrass. It could be angst is a edge. I like the word edge, and it's angst.
That expels a feeling. It makes you feel an energy release, or like that's what that music did for me, was like an energy release of, like, I had all this crazy energy as a kid, so we'd go to those crazy shows and get it out. You know, I need a damn mosh pit. That's what I need right now. You know what? That's what the world needs more of. A little bit of a slam dance mosh pit, good time. Not punch in the face mosh pit.
Son of a bitch! Thank God you ain't around here. I'm gonna cut you off.
Why? You don't want a mosh pit?
I've been there.
It felt like something. It felt like, you know, I was 18, let's say, and we were going to these shows. We were seeing Nirvana and the Dead Milkmen and the Violent Femmes and bands that weren't even all super duper heavy, but we moshed. And we'd go to heavy shows. We went and saw Murphy's Law and bands like that. But you weren't trying to be a slam dancer. You were just crammed into a small space with 150 other people that couldn't stand to move, and you wanted to dance. So dancing turned into bumping into each other. I mean, this is how it started. And then bumping into each other turned into bumping into each other a little harder and getting a better spot. And then people started throwing fists and beating each other up, and they're a bunch of dicks. And they ruined the scene. But you could also stage dive, and back in the day when it was just a mosh pit and you were just in there crunched in and squished in, you could stage dive on top of the crowd, and there were so many people that you were just like that. It was a feeling, okay? And I was a young kid. I grew up in a society where if you weren't the jock, you didn't get the girl, that kind of stuff, you know. So I had a lot of angst. I took it out on my fellow brethren. Most of it was dudes in the pit. I'm not going to deny that. And we would just bounce off each other in an homoerotic way, hoping to touch as many of each other as we possibly could in the process. Maybe, I don't know. You jump off the stage, you get picked up and put on top of the crowd, things like that, and it felt really good. Now it's gone. Like the Polaroid picture. If you want to get into a slam pit now, it's violent and it's angry and it's just like this horrible, horrible situation. Violent Femmes was one of the best slam pits. Everybody was loving each other, but like in this crazy moshy way. And the Dead Milkmen, that was a really fun. Nirvana was a fun mosh pit. And so I've been in a bunch of fun places like that when I was younger. And I think that's what made me survive this long. So maybe, like I said, what I need is a good old-fashioned 1991 punk rock show with a bunch of kids who are under 21 that can't be in the bar area, so they're forced into the corral, and we have to just mosh with each other. Nowadays you get people that experience that feeling. What happened? Well, so you experience that feeling, and then you go to another show and you try to recreate it. But if there weren't enough people and you weren't squished in like you were supposed to be squished in, it would just become uncomfortable. My history of music goes all over the place. I mean, I was a breakdancer. Okay, I like punk rock music. I love the Ramones and the Clash. They're like my favorite two bands in the whole universe. Then eventually it graduated from that into industrial music and like weird German beep beep dog knock beep beep dog. I can't really go back to that, but it's still there. It's in my history. Into the band called the Butthole Surfers, which were like a punk rock psychedelic jazz fusion puke band. And then I rediscovered punk rock again. Then I came out of that into, of all things, heavy metal. And then the Grateful Dead out of heavy metal. Well, because Jane's Addiction. Are you yawning?
No, I'm listening to your evolution of life.
We never had a dang question about John Griffin's musical tasting.
Patrick with a shirt. Yeah, woo, Patrick!
Show.
And then eventually ended up at bluegrass. And now I'm liking this old country music, so I don't know. And actually, when I was a little kid, I kind of started with country music, so I guess it's a full circle. I'm not done yet, though. There's going to be more. Bob Dylan was in there. Jimi Hendrix was in there.
We're
and the Doors were right about the time I started smoking pot. And then you listen to the Doors, and then you take acid and all this stuff, and you do all the things that you do because you heard the Doors. They're horrible. That's the worst influence band of ever. How many kids watched the Doors movie and then went and tripped acid or something? Or just
I'm trying to look at Patrick's hair is split down the middle. That's so dope. Yeah.
He's the next thing. You guys don't even know what's happening next. This is it right here, my boy.
Yeah, that hit was, I wanted to hit of that. I think I'm going to get high just thinking of that.
I'm going to be careful hitting it because sometimes put me on down.
Pops, okay. Do that. Do a hit, Pops.
All right. Let me get my beer off my mustache for him. Be polite.
Who's got wax in his oars?
Hey, Sonny boy.
I'm just going to pretend, okay? I'm just pretending. Don't want to be treated this way. Going down the road, feeling bad. Anyway, folks.
Okay.
You got a whole earful of shit that you don't need to have.
All right. I'm gonna introduce July 3rd. July 3rd. My friend is having a party. With July 3rd. With Fun Guys. Old Shoe and Mr. Blotto on July 3rd in Wheaton. It's called Awesome Fest.
I thought it was the U.S. of Awesome.
Yeah, that's it.
The U.S. of Awesome Fest. Yeah. It's a great party. It's great people. Is it public, though?
It is public. This year it's going to be $20 a person.
Okay, so you kind of got to make it public if you're going to have a charge a ticket price. But
with the
fourth band, right on Fox River, right? Fox River,
right? We were there last year.
I was there. 12. Was that last year or a couple years ago?
A couple years ago. It was.
I can't give you every July 4th. I have to sparse those out. You know, those got to go to different places.
No, we had the COVID thing last year. The COVID thing is kind of a blur. It's kind of a time warp. What is COVID?
It's something they're going to talk about.
Did we lose a couple years? What do you? Hey, Sonny boy, what are you doing over there?
He left. He smoked his smoke and he's gone.
Can't talk about COVID.
It's kind of like he's right. It kind of violates the FCC rules we have on the show.
I know, but isn't it kind of it's kind of we lost a couple years of our lives thinking about it and what happened.
Yeah, no,
I don't think it's accurate.
I
mean, it's accurate.
Like I lost a couple of my years, honestly. Pretty informal years, but I had to work past that. And 20 and 21, or 21 and 20, basically. There was 21 and 22. It was when COVID was going on for me, and those were. I didn't get to go to a lot of bars.
Hey Patrick, it's hard to be to look you in the eyes with this split hair. I can't
really see one side. From this angle, it looks like I have blonde hair. It's not.
Yeah,
You heard Two-Face. This guy's two-headed.
Yeah, see, there you go.
I'm thinking of like the Joker, Batman.
He's very superhero. He's my superhero, so that guy goes without saying. You know.
He's gonna take his shirt off in a minute, man.
No. No, I have to work tomorrow.
I do have that down for great segment ideas. Patrick without a shirt.
Yeah.
That was a good night. You go back and rewind like 3 or 4 episodes, you'll find Patrick without a shirt for like half the episode.
Yeah.
Patrick.
I was I don't think
I wrote it down, Phil. Like, no, I made notes that night. I wrote Patrick without a shirt is kick ass.
I had sunglasses on. I didn't say many words. I was like a bodyguard, kind of.
He danced. It was a good time. We had a blast. I'm glad we did it.
Patrick without a shirt. That's a good segment.
Throughout the course of the evening, folks, people are going to tune in and tune out. If you're just tuned in right now, you're watching episode 148 of the Phil N Jon Zone.
Bullshit.
148 weeks, Bill. We've done
You're
this.
not kidding me.
148. Well, there's 147 videos. One of them got deleted. Sorry, Ed Anderson and Greg Fundus. That was a great episode too. We had Ed Anderson and Greg Fundus. That one got deleted by accident. But the rest are available on YouTube and here, and you can subscribe and click the link below. No, don't do that because there's no link below. But
My God. Subscribe to our Patreon.
Yeah, give me money. No, don't do that. No, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad we can be part of your world out there in what we do and how.
Yeah, we want money. What are you?
Yeah. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. You know. I'm glad you're here.
We've been trying it for like 50 weeks.
Dang, Dean Justice is coming on the show, man. Dean Justice, I don't suppose you got Zoom, do you? Dean Justice, my favorite ukuleleist in the whole
Hey,
wide
Dean.
world. You know Dean. You met him through our
Yeah,
event.
he's very
Yeah.
good. Very good. Very good.
Dean Justice in the Experience. Hey, you make a comment, you're going to get called out. This is if you stand in the front row in our.
I'm going to get called out. Come on. Bring it on.
I'm calling you outside. We're going to go outside, but not to brawl.
Just to smoke some grass.
Yeah. Step outside, but not to brawl. That's some Red Hot Chili Pepper shit right there.
You smoke cigarettes?
So tonight we had no.
You guys
Step
don't?
outside, but not to
Good
brawl.
for you.
You're going outside to get
Good
high.
for you. I mean, you smoke enough drugs to kill like a turkey and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But-
No, totally.
But you don't smoke cigarettes.
Here's the funny
No.
thing. When I was a young kid and I started smoking pot,
Good thing.
I did it because they told me it would help me forget the things I wanted to forget. And guess what? I still remember those things. So what the hell? It ain't working.
Well, it's not funny because sometimes I forget what the hell our show is called.
We probably forget more than we remember. I'll bet you that. We never remember
That's not
anything we
funny.
actually forgot.
It's not funny. Wait till you get older, Jack.
Well, have you ever looked up dictionary in the dictionary? It's in there.
It's just an
People don't realize how
encyclopedia
old I
of
am.
words.
I'm like 69, man.
Dictionary is in the dictionary.
You can
It is a real
explain
thing.
any word. You can't. There's no word you can't explain with other words.
I'm
I'm gonna need a
speechless.
break to go outside and have a cigarette and see the
Wait,
moon and the
You
sun.
see the northern lights from your house?
What? You
can
got another
see it from
segment
Wisconsin.
coming up. What's going on?
You can see the northern lights from Wisconsin, but you probably can't see them from your house because it's too bright there.
Well, you're down south.
Look north when you go outside.
You know, I should get. I didn't get the radar on, but earlier we're supposed to get like 6 inches, like 20
Well, I
minutes.
got the official Facebook report last night that Adam Gruel in what you call
Foo Fighters.
no, that's
Oh,
that's the dude
Is
in
that
Maroon 5. No, Adam
Adam
Gruel
Levine.
from Horseshoes and Hand Grenades in
Oh,
St. Stephen
shit.
Points, Missouri could see the northern lights last night. So, beautiful world we live in, the Aurora Borealis.
Yeah, I see. Yeah. It's,
Now you got us. This is your Aurora Borealis if you're watching. So,
oh, that's so sentimental. It is true though.
it's incremental. It's incremental. Increment.
It is. It is. That's a great line. Yeah.
But the Foo Fighters are coming to your town. Go see
God
them.
damn it, motherfucker.
Um,
You said Grohl, and that was the first thing I thought of.
Dave
So,
Grohl. Oh, Dave Grohl and Adam Grohl are not. They're not related. It's
not
different
related,
spelling.
Very different. And different
Did see my friend Adam
pronunciations.
Grohl last weekend. Adam Grohl, after out there, Horseshoes and Hand Grenades, man, hats off to you guys. What a great show. I stood
Oh,
front
so
row.
good.
You guys were spitting on me. It was awesome.
Yeah, whatever.
But they all sing. They all do their part. That show is so good. I don't know. You got to go see the Horseshoes and Hand Grenades band. And don't go if it just says horseshoes, because it might be actually just horseshoes.
it might just be a
He's laughing, but it happened to me,
yeah.
didn't it?
Oh my god, Dad. You really thought that.
It said horseshoes. It started 4:30. I thought Horseshoes and Hand Grenades.
No. Yeah, horseshoes.
Always be thankful for Horseshoes and Hand Grenades. It's a wee bog, a rattling bog. In that bog, there was a Phil, and a wee Phil, a rattling Phil.
Nah.
Okay, I'll stop.
God damn it.
And on that Phil, there was a hat, a wee hat, a rattling hat. A flea on the hat in the bog, and the rog and the frog, and the Phil and the dog, and all that stuff. So, Rattling Bog. I couldn't do it because the band is so amazing when they do that song. It's fantastic. You really have to be right there in the front row. Well, you don't really even hear the PA system. All you're really hearing is the band playing it. Phil, I'm glad you do this to me. We're gonna go have a smoke, and we'll come back and we'll have an ABC game before you go tonight.
Yeah,
We
that's
got
fine.
20
I
minutes in
was
us.
just wondering if you could actually sing that song.
On the tree there was a limb, a wee limb, a rattling limb, and then it says on the
You're
tree there
gonna
was a branch, a wee branch, a rattling branch. And it
Patrick,
says, on
you
the
know
branch
it
there
too.
was a twig, a wee twig, a wee. A
Well, you
rattling
guys
twig.
do know that. I'm
Then a leaf, and
very
then maybe it's
impressed
a
by
good
that.
nest.
But I'm gonna have a cigarette.
Alright,
That is awesome. I'm not knocking that. That is
Well,
awesome.
I wanted to pay attention because I've heard it so many times. I've heard him do that a lot of times, but I don't know
Okay.
it. And so I listen, and it's a tree, a limb, a branch, a twig, a bug, a leaf, a bug. Yeah.
You
It's
know,
amazing.
I'm gonna go in my backyard and have a smoke and tinkle out in my backyard and talk to Piper, my possum, and I'll be right back into the Phil and John Zone show.
So what we're gonna do now, folks, is we're gonna try and give you a taste of it because oh man, it's not even. There we go. It's an old time sing song, so you've got a song that everybody sings along with. It's only a few minutes long. We'll let this happen, and it happened this time.
Oh, bird a rattling bog and a bog down in the valley. Oh, now her bog a rattling bog and the bog down in the valley. Oh, and in that bog there was a tree, a rare tree, a rattling tree, and a tree in the bog down in the valley. Oh, oh, but a rattling bog and the bog down in the valley. Oh. Rare bog, a rattling bog, and the bog down in the valley, oh. And on that tree there was a limb, a rare limb, a rattling limb, and a limb on the tree, and the tree in the bog down in the valley, oh. Oh, a rattling bog, and the bog down in the valley, oh. Rare bog, a rattling bog, and the bog down in the valley, oh. And on that limb there was a branch, a rare branch, a rattling branch, and a branch on the limb, and the limb on the tree, and the tree in the bog down in the valley, oh. Oh, but a rattling bog, and the bog down in the valley, oh. Rare bog, a rattling bog, and the bog down in the valley, oh. And on that branch there was a twig, a rare twig, a rattling twig, and a twig, and a branch on the limb, and the limb on the tree, and the tree in the bog down in the valley, oh. Oh, but a rattling bog, and a bog down in the valley, oh. Rare bog, rattling bog, and a bog down in the valley, oh. And on that twig there was a leaf, a rare leaf, a rattling leaf, and a leaf on the twig, and a twig, and the branch on the limb, and the limb on the tree, and the tree in the bog down in the valley, oh. Oh, rattling bog, and a bog down in the valley, oh. Rare bog, rattling bog, and a bog down in the valley, oh. And on that leaf there was a nest, a rare nest, a rattling nest, a nest, a leaf, and a leaf, and a twig, and a twig, and a branch on the limb, and the limb on the tree, and the tree in the bog down in the valley, oh. Oh, the rattling bog, and a bog down in the valley, oh. Rare bog, a rattling bog, and a bog down in the valley, oh. And in that nest there was an egg, a rare egg, a rattling egg, and the egg, and a nest, and a leaf, and a leaf, and a twig, and a twig, and a branch, and a limb, and the limb, and the tree in the bog down in the valley, oh. Now, the rattling bog, and a bog down in the valley, oh. Rare bog, rattling bog, and a bog down in the valley, oh. On the egg there was a bird, a rare bird, rattling bird, the egg, and nest, and a leaf, and a leaf, and a twig, and a branch, and a limb, and a limb, and a tree in the bog down in the valley, oh. Now, the rattling bog, and a bog down in the valley, oh. Rare bog, rattling bog, and a bog down in the valley, oh. On the bird there was a feather, a rare feather, rattling feather, bird, the egg, and nest, and a leaf, and twig, and a branch, and a limb, and a tree in the bog down in the valley, oh. Now, the rattling bog, and a bog down in the valley, oh. Rare bog, rattling bog, and a bog down in the valley, oh. And the flea was a flea, a rare flea, rattling flea, a feather, bird, the egg, and nest, leaf, twig, twig, branch, and limb, and a tree in the bog down in the valley, oh. Oh, rattling bog, and a bog down in the valley, oh. Rare bog, the rattling bog, and the bog down in the valley.
That's right, folks. On the bog down in the valley, oh, I tell you, that's an important piece of music right there. Good friends of ours, the Horseshoe and Hand Grenades, have done. Both Phil and I have done a lot of work with those guys, and I'm proud to be say they're my buddies. And saw them last weekend, and we'll go back and see them again. There's without a doubt one of my top bands to go see live. From Stevens Point, Wisconsin, actually, the Horseshoe and Hand Grenades. Careful typing that as a Facebook post. Last week, somebody said they were going to Horseshoes and Hand Grenade show, and they got blocked on Facebook for 24 hours for saying that word. Apparently, and don't say the word and. So, Folks, it's a Friday night, March 24th, 7:43 p.m. We're checking in from the middle of Asia. That's where we're at right now. We're someplace in the Asian plateau, live. Thank goodness, it's cold there. But here we are today, and we're having a good time. So I'm glad you can be part of it. And we're gonna see what happens next. I think we usually do the alphabet game, which usually kills the show pretty good. We're trying to knock everybody out before we leave and bore them to death, so they really don't want to be part of it anymore. And then. But we need a theme for the alphabet game, because it's supposed to come up with something for every letter of the alphabet, and we've done bands so many times. I'm not going to tell you all Phil's answers. Foghat to Led Zeppelin to Yes to fucking, oh man, I could tell you all Phil's answers. We could do a guessing game where we try to guess what the other person would say. Okay, that might work. All right, so we come up with a theme now. We got a theme. Thanks for pitching in on the theme idea. And thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate that this happens. It's a good experience. It's good to have you guys out there, whoever's out there, and when you're out there. And we'll hopefully see you at a live show pretty soon, because if we can't get y'all to log out right now, we never get you to log out. You'll be watching all night long. Now, Phil, on the other hand, is in the other room now. He's gone. Man, my desk is all sticky from that whiskey she brought. That's like candy whiskey. Yeah. It was good. I drank it. It was not too bad. I drank it. Delicious. I felt good. Got up, walked. A little bit wobbly, but I made it. I don't encourage it, but it happens and it helps every now and then. As summer gets closer, we really have to really enjoy and be ready for some good times. Seeing some friends, getting ready to go out and enjoy the company of our friends again. Can't wait. I'm glad you guys got to see the unveiling of the Simple Things album tonight. Once again, I'll get that back out so that you can see what that is. I'm afraid to touch it. It's going to get fingerprints on it. So nice. But Simple Things album by the Band of Heathens, brand new, just came out this week pretty much, and I just got my copies today, which I don't know if it's even out yet, so it might have been the reveal party. Eric Carpenter, you're definitely welcome to share 5 records, and I'll tell you what, next time we do the show, I'll get a hold of you before we do the show and bring you in for 5 records. I'd love to do that. We haven't shared the 5 record spotlight in a while, and we would love to bring you part of the 5 records part of the show. Again, anybody who has interest in playing music or knows somebody who wants to play music and come on the show, we really love having musical guests. All you need is Zoom, microphone, phone, whatever, and you can play a song for us, and we'll teach you how to turn on the original sound, so it sounds halfway decent, and it'll still sound like it's singing in a can and like a CB radio sound, but we like to have musical guests. We try to have them. Out of 148 shows, we've had 140 different shows with musical guests. Some of them had 3 guests the same night. All available on YouTube. Phil N Jon Zone out there. Just do a search for it. You'll find a zillion, well, not a zillion, but like 100 and some episodes of our show. They're not all out there. I'm missing like 103 to 120 something, but the rest of them are all out there. And no, the rest of them are available. I just said you got to find them on Facebook, and that can be tricky. Because you ever know something about Facebook is they see something on Facebook, and then you go look for it again, and it's gone. And even if you scroll back up, sometimes it's not there. And that's how the art gets viewed on Facebook. That's how what we do gets viewed on Facebook. So the show is on it's on the air, but people see it, and then they go, well, maybe I'll do something else, and they just keep scrolling, and it's over. So, I think we should do the alphabet game is going to be interesting tonight, because what we're going to do is we're going to say the other person's answer. So I'm going to tell them what you would pick for that letter, and you're going to tell them what I would pick for that letter of our favorite bands. Okay?
Okay.
So it's ABCs, but you got to think about what I would think of as what I would pick, because we've done favorite bands so many times. So let's do it this way, where you think what I'm going to say, and I'll think what you're going to say, and you can say right or wrong, or you can just agree or disagree.
All right.
Okay. So I think that's a good idea, right? Because we've done this enough times to know what we like, So who wants to start? You pick a number between 1 and 10. I'll tell you if you're right.
7.
You start. Okay.
All right. I'm going to go with Alphaville.
Forever young, brother. Forever young. For B, for what I think Phil would pick for B is going to be, dang, I don't know what your B is. Hold on. I thought I knew every letter you liked and what you would pick for every letter. I'm going to say Black Sabbath, probably.
Okay.
You might pick Black Sabbath for B.
C with John's beard. Kind of a Charlie Daniels thing.
I like that. I've never thought of Charlie Daniels before, but I'm going to use that next time for C. For D, for Phil, I'm going to say the Dead Milkmen. I don't think he would pick that, but it's on his wall, so he knows who they are. And listen, the guitar player from Dead Milkmen denied an interview. I asked him, he said no. That's all we can say about that. I have proof.
E would be for effigies.
The Effigies. I would pick the Effigies.
Effigies. A great band I saw in Chicago back in the day at Double Door.
Okay,
A great underrated band.
For G, what Phil would pick for G would probably be Godsmack.
No. F would be
That might be the very first time we've mentioned Godsmack on the show. So
okay. I'm gonna get this one right on F. Fugazi. For
probably would pick Fugazi. Yeah, Fugazi's a good F for me. For G or E, F, G. Hold on, did I do G already? Did I do the alphabet wrong?
Probably.
For H, where are we at? For E, F, G. I already did G. That's okay, because for F, for you, I was going to pick Foghat, without a doubt. Foghat.
No doubt.
No doubt, Foghat. So for G, you would pick, probably not George Duke, but that'd be a good one. For G, you'd probably pick Grateful Dead. We kind of generic out on Grateful Dead sometimes, and we use that a little too often, perhaps. A lot there. There's a lot of material there, folks. I mean, you can't just say it's just the Grateful Dead. There's a lot there, but we do use that a lot for G. So I'm going to say Phil might pick Grateful Dead for G.
What should we pick?
What would John pick for H? Is it your question?
H would be Husker Du.
There's a good chance it would be Husker Du. Yeah. For Phil, it would be Ichabod and the Cranes.
That's right. Exactly right.
So what would I pick for J? Or where are you at? You're at H? Okay, keep going.
H?
No.
Oh, I
think we're at J.
J, Jethro Tull.
Yeah, we probably both picked Jethro Tull. That's a given.
They bring you songs for the wood.
Now, the one I would usually pick, though, over Jethro Tull would probably be Jane's Addiction for J.
Or James Taylor.
I like James Taylor. I don't think I've ever said him before, though, but I do like James Taylor. See, I like those three bands. I like Jethro Tull, I like Jane's Addiction, and I like James Taylor. What does that say about me mentally? Some fucked up shit. For K?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
For K, for Phil, I'm going to say Kiss. Kiss. I have proof.
No.
Kiss. Kiss. Kiss.
Might have
Would you
been.
pick Kiss? Or would you pick Kravitz for Lenny Kravitz?
No. Kansas.
You would, you know what? You're right. You're right. I lose. Fail. You would definitely pick Kansas.
Failed. I like the word failed.
You would definitely pick Kansas for K.
Carry
So,
on
L,
my wayward son.
Well, we could both say it together. What do we pick for L? Led Zeppelin.
Led Zeppelin.
Well, it's close enough. With the delay, that might be perfect. Led Zeppelin for L. That's who we love for L.
Led Zeppelin.
So for M, I think you're going to pick for M, you're going to pick Mott the Hoople.
No.
Or Mountain, perhaps. Because Mountain, you like Mountain.
Well, there's so many.
Or like Milton Berle comedy album.
You're finally on. Oh,
He goes, hey, I'm in a dress.
You're going out
Milton
again.
Berle, the original drag queen.
Milton Berle.
Was he the first? Was he the first like major? I think that he was pretty early on in the drag queen situation.
Mott the Hoople.
Mott the Hoople. Let's go with Mott the Hoople. All right. For M. Okay, so I like Mott the Hoople. That's what I said. Or Mountain.
Milton Berle.
Milton Berle comedy album. Hats off to Milton Berle if you're out there. My squirrel is named Milton for Milton Squirrel. N is your trick for what you think I pick for N.
N. Nico Case.
Nah, probably not. Think more 90s.
Nico Case.
All right, you're right. Nico Case. We'll go with Nico Case. But I probably would pick Nirvana.
But you know what? Yeah, Nirvana. But Nico Case is one of my top 5 shows of all time.
I don't really even like. I'm not a big Nirvana supporter anymore. They're kind of like in that genre of music now. Like whenever I look back at Jimi Hendrix, I'm like, man, Jimi
Everything
Hendrix was
is
so
so easy for
cool.
Pauline.
Now they're looking back and they're saying Kurt Cobain is so cool, and I'm afraid what these kids are gonna, how their influences are gonna go. If they listen to the words of those songs, that's dark. I still love Nirvana, and I give it up to Kurt always for what he did. Music.
That's change.
But he apologized many times, all times. Anyway, O for you to pick away. You think I would pick for O because I don't know an O for you, so
Boingo boingo.
that's a good one. I was thinking Ozone Motley, but this isn't the Mighty Kreskin over here. So P for you, I'm gonna say Pink Floyd. Patti Smith, actually, maybe Patti Smith. You like Patti Smith a lot too.
Patti Smith, one of the top 5, 10 concerts I've all seen of all time at Wells Park. I'll bring up that story if anybody's seen that.
I wonder if a book will ever get published, and it'll be like, here's the 200 times Phil and John did the ABC game in print. Somebody could go back and listen to all the shows and document all of our answers.
Are we supposed to be doing something different every time?
And then there would be stats. And we do bands a lot. We've done colors. We've done animals. We've done imaginary things. We've done places we want to go. We've done foods we like to eat.
Seeing imaginary thing.
But all that is a distraction because I know we're on letter.
No, we're informative. Yeah, we are. We're just being ourselves. What letter are we on?
We are on the letter Q, which for you is going to be Queen, without a doubt.
Yeah, Queen by far.
I might say Quicksilver Messenger Service for myself, but I'm not sure.
Not even.
Q, R, you go with R. What I would pick for R. What would I pick for R? Easy. I always pick the same thing. It's fucking not Radiohead, I can tell you that.
Rush.
It's more an abbreviated situation. I'd probably pick REM.
Rush by far.
Okay,
And
well, you just lost 2 points. That's what you might pick. If I had to pick what you would want to pick for the letter R.
REM over Rush. You're not my friend anymore, really. You're just dissing
No, that's not. There's no over there.
You're
There's
a
no
long
over.
distance
No. That's
away.
apples and oranges. You ever had an apple and orange?
No, it's not even close. No.
It's not even. They're just no. You can't say. I'm not
Okay,
saying
fine,
over.
buddy.
I say I probably would pick REM. I know more of their material.
No. You're living in a non-material world.
You're a material girl.
Bullshit.
M, I'm picking Madonna. Where are we at? M? No. We never picked Madonna, I don't think. There was a time when Madonna was QRS. No, we're S. And I'm going to pick for you, the S band that you always pick is Sepultura.
The
best part-
John's band, I'm gonna call his band that he would want us is
When the book comes out. Now, when the book comes out about the 200 times that John and Phil did the ABC game, the book, they published the book. There'll be a bunch of lists that don't go past like R, or S, or T, because we just got giggly or distracted, and we don't always make it to the end of the alphabet. That's never a guarantee.
S. On would be God, you distracted me with Sepultura. Supertramp, but that's not even the right answer.
No, you would pick Supertramp. I think you wouldn't pick
All
the
right,
same.
what's Sepultura? You know I wouldn't like that band.
Stevie Ray Vaughan maybe would be good.
For me or you?
I don't know. For my brother Joe, he loves Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Well, yeah. Okay.
Is this the best 2 hours of my week, folks? I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty close. I did spend some time watching TV this week and saw some shows, but there was a pretty good time. It was relaxing and nice. Just watch TV, But these 2 hours of Phil every week.
Yeah.
You can't buy that at Kmart. They don't have a blue light special on that at all.
When I watch some video of Stevie Ray Vaughan and certain musicians play music, I saw reel. I like a reel, like a documentary reel of Stevie Ray Vaughan playing. Man, I was in tears how that dude can shred. Unreal. And it's rare footage you get to see that. Find the footage of Stevie Ray Vaughan. It's not much of it. Man, that dude.
There's good footage early Stevie Ray Vaughan. There's good footage late Stevie Ray Vaughan. Every recording of Stevie Ray Vaughan is ridiculous.
You kind of go, that's not right.
And his
But
daddy was, Stevie Ray Vaughan's papa was friends with Les Paul.
right.
So Les Paul, the inventor of the Les Paul, would come hang out at their house when he was a little kid and show him how to begin a guitar. From the very beginning when he could pick up a guitar. That dude can play like nobody else in the earth. I mean, even Jimmy, there's players that play, but Stevie Ray Vaughan is different.
Well, way different.
There's certain players like Jimmy and like Stevie Ray Vaughan and even Jimmy Page that play a certain way, and nobody really ever got that exactly like they did it,
Hey, Billy Strings is like that.
Billy's got his own thing, man. He's his own beast of amazing.
You can't copy that kind of stuff. I mean, I like looking at the musician's eyes and reading people and getting synopsis of who they are. They're rare. They're rare.
It's important. He's making a real impact on music. He's making a real.
Well, that's what we're doing.
We are?
Well, yeah. If you're watching the show, I believe my opinion goes a long way, and yours does too.
I have an opinion about music, that's for sure, and I try to keep it.
Well, I don't care if mine's right or wrong, but usually mine's right.
I have an opinion. Music's funny, you got to give it a time. If music is good, it'll be around for a long time. If a band's good, they'll be around for more than a couple albums. You have to give it. And there's good bands that have one song. There's good bands that have one album. But the bands that I love, that I follow, are the ones that have multiple albums, 4 or more, sometimes 5 or more, 10 or more. That keep every album is good. Man, let's just cheers to that, Phil, and call it an ABC game. Cheers, folks. All apologies.
That I know.
So tonight,
here's to all my friends who watch the show who do not drink alcohol. Thank you very much.
Congratulations. If you had to get
congratulations.
We don't mean to encourage that part of the show.
Oh, no.
There's no condoning of any kind of activity like
drugs
on this show. It's just like on Jackass. Don't try it, please. We will not review any submissions. Do not send us videos.
I can bring up names of friends who have stopped. And I don't
people to be proud about
there. I could, because I don't like the word I wish I could, because that's a lame ass thing. And more power to you guys. Thank you.
Much more, and love to everybody that we get to see. Chris, Eric, everybody who checked in tonight, John McKee, Chris, and everybody who's out there watching. We appreciate you guys checking out our show. We can't milk it too much longer. We've done 2 hours, and we're gonna get pinched because we're not getting paid for this shit. But honestly, though, in the real reality of things,
and love you, John. Love the Phil N Jon Zone, and signing off.
Why aren't your lips moving when you talk, Phil?
We watch the after show party.
It's the Phil N Jon Zone.
We can
do whatever we want.
Hey, even have a mute button. Watch this.
I'm out here. I'm going to the other side of the Phil N Jon Zone. Thank you for coming on the show. Much love. Peace.
Big thanks, all. High five, man. Don't be hanging.
I'm just giving you some outro music.
148 weeks.
Phil N Jon Show. Send me a drink.
Hard to make it.
Make him the cutest that I've ever seen.
Appreciate everybody tuning in.
With commentary.
Carpenter Rich up 5 records next week. Please,
I can hear you.
And none of the topics that will treat
they can hear me.
Don't go anywhere.
Carpenter will do 5 records next week.
Yeah.
Watch the after show party.
Turn on your magic.
Come to the after show. I'll share the link. You really want it.
Send me the link afterwards. Come on, join us.
We'll do after party. All right.
We're gonna crank some shit.
Phil N Jon Show. Brought to you by Phil and John.
Wait for it.
Yeah,
you guys.
that's a hit.
Thank you all. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah. Thank you.
Woo!
So,
Let's go out there. Let's go get him.
I think
Go
that's
get him!
Let's go get him.
Thanks everybody for chiming in, man.